Hey friend, welcome to the Badass is the New Black podcast, where our motto is done is better than perfect. I'm Chrissy Chin, here on a mission to help you grow your business online, turn your leads into lifelong customers, and scale to six figures and beyond so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more. Most importantly, I'm a laid-back wife, a mom, a friend who started as a peds nurse, turned network marketer, and now a serial entrepreneur. This podcast is for ambitious people with an idea, a vision, but no idea how to get there. On this podcast, I'll give actionable steps to keep you moving forward while you learn new business strategies, better systems and processes, marketing, sales, all the things you need to build and scale a blissful business that keeps your pocketbooks growing. Grab a beverage, open up your notes app, and let's get to it. Welcome back to the Badass is the New Black podcast. I'm your host, Chrissy Chin. Today's episode is all about helping you decide if your ideas are worth acting on. When you have an idea, it's important to ask yourself four things. One, why do I want to do this? Two, how is this going to bring in revenue for the business? Three, when does this actually need to get done? And four, can I do this in a very simplified way so I don't overwhelm myself or take up too much time? As someone who has 100 ideas, probably more like 1,000 ideas every single day, I'm a manifesting generator who wants to do all of the things. I have a lot going on up inside my head here, and I constantly want to act on all of the ideas, but I can't do that, or I'm not actually going to be productive in the business. And I've learned that when I have an idea, it's more beneficial for me to instead on acting on it right away in this rushed, should have been done yesterday mentality and energy that I used to do. You can ask Claire on that one. I really need to take a pause for a little bit. And that was really hard for me to stop, think about it. And that's where I came up with these questions so that I could really analyze, is the idea that I have valuable for the business? And are we going to be able to do it in an efficient way that doesn't have us like working overtime or working extra hard, right? Like sometimes projects do take a lot of work, and sometimes you can do it in a really efficient way. Or if they take a lot of work, they're really worth the return on the investment, the return on the energy that you put in is really high. And so that can be, you don't have to have perfect answers for all of them, but you can just use these as an assessment tool. So when I started doing this, it really helped me sort through what ideas were worth acting on and what ideas really needed to take a rest and a pause. So again, these questions: why do I want to do this? How is this going to bring in revenue for the business? When does this actually need to get done? And can I do this in a very simplified way? Sometimes the answer to number one is because I think it will be really fun. Right? And that's the answer. And that's okay. Sometimes it's because it will help our students get better results. Sometimes it's because we need another way to bring in revenue for the business. The goal here, and what I want you to really do with number one, is be brutally honest with yourself and give yourself a truthful answer of why you really want to do this. And just be honest. And if you're like, dang, that was a really selfish answer, like, that's okay. We can do things maybe because it brings us joy or we find fun in it. And then we need to make sure that the other answers are aligned and it's going to be beneficial for us. So for the second question, how is this going to bring in revenue for the business? Again, be brutally honest with this, idea. Is this a revenue generating idea? Yes or no? And sometimes we do want to do things and we do act on things that aren't necessarily directly revenue generating, but maybe there's some other factors and reasons why this is really important. And it's okay to have that. But if every idea that you have is not bringing in revenue for the business, you have no business. And so it's really important to assess all of these ideas to decide, is this going to bring in revenue or not? So be honest. If it's a yes or a no, and then you can use that to weigh in on your answer of, should I be investing time and energy into this? And then question number 3, when does this actually need to be done? As someone who used to operate under the mentality that when I had an idea, it needed to be done ASAP, that caused a lot of stress on me, on the team because I would rush things. I'd be like, oh, I have an idea and we have to get this done right away. Like I needed it set up yesterday. So can you do this? And I would put a lot of pressure. I'd put a lot of pressure on Claire. I would then stress myself out. And I used to think, and I kind of analyzed why. Why did I operate in that mentality? And I had this limiting belief that if I didn't act on it right now when I thought about it, it wasn't going to be as impactful, or it wasn't going to bring in the revenue that I wanted it to bring in. And I've since now squashed that limiting belief to know that even if I have a great idea now, I can table it, bring it back out 6 months later, and it could still be just as impactful, possibly even more, and bring in more revenue for the business because it's more well thought out and we have a plan in place and it's not rushed. So I've actually found it to be more beneficial to kind of sit on things for us in the team, instead of stressing myself out about this, right? And putting too much on our plate and overwhelming us and causing burnout. So now I'm very honest with myself about this. Can this be done later? Does it have to be done now? Sometimes it does have to be done now. Sometimes you're in the middle of a launch and you have an idea. And if it pertains to the launch and generating more leads for your email list or converting to more customers and you have to do it now, sometimes it makes sense. And so hopefully you've set up all the other things, automations and systems and process to make sure everything's running smooth to create time for when you do have these last minute things that come up. And then how can we do this in a simplified way? So that's question number 4. My goal is to always provide value, grow the business, and keep my work hours to a minimum. And so this always provides a good hard look at how much effort and time and energy this idea is going to take, or implementing this is going to take, not only for me, but for the team to accomplish this. And then we can determine if it's worth it and can we manage it. So Claire and I are in a community called The Mixer Mind, run by Linda Sadu. She's amazing. And we're part of a small group in there. And we talked about doing an open house. Someone else was sharing this idea. They did an open house for their launch. It worked really well. And so Claire and I thought, oh my gosh, this is a great idea. Now, mind you, when we had this meeting, we were in our launch. So, we were should we do this? And so we go through these questions. Why do we want to do this? Because we think it will give people that are thinking about joining the program a really good experience on what it's actually like to be in the program. So that's why we want to do it. And why? Also because this could generate more revenue. So then that's question number 2 as well. How is this going to generate more revenue? If it works, it will convert more people into joining the program and therefore bringing in more revenue for the business. When does this need to get done by? Well, we were in the middle of a launch, so it needed to get done and executed before the launch was over. So we needed to really kick it into gear and decide, today, are we going to do this? Pick a date, tomorrow, email out, the people. So, then that leads us to the next question. Can we do this in a simplified way? Can we actually do this in a way in the next day to execute this without totally stressing ourselves out or neglecting our family and all of that? And so, yes, the answer was yes. We could have done it in a much more complicated way, but we decided, okay, what's the most simplified way? Great. I'm going to create a Zoom link for the open house, and I'm going to put the registration to happen in Zoom. So I'm not creating an opt-in page. I'm not doing any of that. I'm literally creating a Zoom link, and I'm going to email out to the people that registered for the masterclass and just send it to them and say, hey, we're doing an open house, and invite them in. Then we emailed out the BBB students and said, hey, if you want to submit content for review, go ahead and submit that. And we just used the form that we always use, so we didn't have to create anything new. So the answer was yes, we can do this in a very simplified way. And so, everything was kind of a pro, outweighed any of the cons. And so we did it. And we kept it super simple. We only had a few people on the open house that were not already students, but one of them ended up joining the program. And so it was really incredible, and we're glad that we did it, and we took the time and the energy to do that. If you're someone with a million ideas and you want to monetize them, or you are monetizing them, but you're not doing it in a very efficient way, then I highly recommend you grab my new book, Sell While You Sleep, Turn Your Knowledge into an Automated Business and Create a Life of Freedom. This is your step-by-step guide to taking your knowledge and automating the process of selling it so you can sell while you sleep, or while you're out walking the dog, or spending family time together. There's loads of actionable steps in there. And if you go to kncreative.com/book launch, you can get the link to purchase it on Amazon. It's available in hardcover, paperback, Kindle. And then you can also grab the book bonuses once you have completed your purchase, which includes a digital workbook, the first couple chapters of the book so you can get started reading right away, and a goal setting workshop, which is incredible. So go ahead and hop over to that page. The link will be below this video or in the show notes. Again, kncreative.com/book launch, and grab yourself a copy of Sell While You Sleep. At the end of last year, I had this idea to launch a series called the Access the Experts. Maybe if you've been listening for a while, you've been hearing me talk about it. This is where we bring in experts on a particular topic, and then we do an in-depth training for our community. A lot goes into this series where we are bringing someone in every single month. And I shared today in the Build a Blissful Business community, which is for anyone who's joined that program, a behind the scenes on this offering, on the strategy. And I broke it all down for them, why we started it, how we compensate our experts, the strategy behind promotion. And that way they're getting a real life behind the scenes in my business so that they can take that, implement it into their business, and find a way that fits it and feels aligned. So in thinking about this offer, I was thinking about these 4 questions. Number 1, why do I want to do this? Well, selfishly, I wanted to learn about these topics in a deeper way. And if I think these are valuable for business, then I also believe that it's valuable for our students, and they should 100% want to be learning about these topics as well. So while I wanted to learn about them, I did think it would bring a lot of value to our students. Another reason would be to give our community more education on the topics and areas. So not people just inside our programs, but our whole email list gets access to these trainings. I also wanted trainings on these topics to be able to add to our offers, to make our other offers more value packed, and didn't feel like I had the time and energy to really become the expert on these topics, and I shouldn't need to become the expert. So bringing someone in just made a lot more sense. So, these were some of the thoughts that were going through my head on why this could be a great idea for our business. Number 2, how's it going to bring in more revenue for the business? So for some of the expert trainings, we let people, all of them we have so far, we've let people come in live for free. And then some of them we have charged for the replay, anywhere between $9 and $17. So let me tell you that is not a big revenue generating offer for us. We aren't charging to make a bunch of money on the offer. There's other behind the scenes reasons why we are charging a little bit. The most I think we've ever made on one of these trainings is $1,000 by selling the replay. So again, this is not like a huge revenue generating aspect by just charging for the replay. However, if we can add these expert trainings to some of our existing offers for bonuses, like for example, in Build a Blissful Business, we include some of the Instagram trainings, the SEO training will get added. The Google Analytics is a great one that can be added to that. We'll add more value to those programs, and therefore that will help us convert more people and generate more revenue for the business. So that's how this could tie into even more revenue. And the other aspect to them is that this is a totally behind the scenes strategy that I'm sharing with you, is that some of these experts have trainings and tools and programs that we are affiliates with. And so providing this training allows them to get to know this person, learn from this person, and for us, the opportunity to promote that offering with our affiliate link. So number 3 doesn't need to be done now. At the time, it wasn't a huge rush to get this done, so we took our time. And in the very beginning, we didn't do it every single month at the end of 2023. We just sort of eased into it. And now for 2024, we have committed to doing one every single month. And number 4, can we do this in a simplified manner? Well, the truth is that it does take a lot to coordinate and to set up, and it takes time for us to find the experts and vet the experts unless there's someone that we know already. It takes time to set up the materials every month, to promote the training, to hold the training, to update the materials when we have the replay. But since we've started, we've really streamlined that system, and it's a really efficient process. We have templates created for the opt-in pages. We have templates for the emails that have allowed us to speed up the time to execute each month. So then you have to take a look at, okay, knowing all of these things, does this offering make sense? Sometimes it's a yes, sometimes it's a yes right now, sometimes it's a yes, but not right now. And sometimes it's a yes and we'll fit it into the schedule and we'll see how it goes. And if it doesn't feel aligned after a few months or 6 months, then we can decide if we're not going to keep it. Sometimes it only takes a month to decide on something, right? Like, oh, this is not feeling great. We're not going to move forward with this. So in regards to the experts, we are loving this series. We have committed to having an expert on every single month in 2024. And we have always allowed people to come in the live for free. And then sometimes the replays have a cost. Sometimes the replays are free. I will leave the link below this video so that you can actually go look at all of the previous Access the Experts trainings to see if there are any that we have done in the past that really pique your interest and you want value from. They're all incredibly worth it. Some of them are free. Some of them, the highest price is $17 for the replay. And all of these are going to help you generate more revenue in your business. So they are worth every single penny. If you would like to sign up for our next Access the Experts training and get your free ticket, you can go to kncreative.com, access the experts, or again, the link will be below here in the show notes. If you're on YouTube, I would love to hear what topics you would love to learn about, or maybe you peruse the Access the Experts and you take a look and see, I'd really love a training on this topic. Go ahead and drop it in the comments for us and we can see what we can do. If you're a coach, a creative, a service provider, and you're looking to create a course, a membership site, a program, or coaching offer, then Kajabi is going to be the platform that you want to use. You can use it to build your website, any of your landing pages, build your email list, send out emails. It can host your courses, your programs, all of your offers, your coaching, trainings. There's even a community aspect to it. If you want to host your podcast there, you certainly can. It is the best platform to use for your business, and we highly recommend it. If you'd like to try out Kajabi free for 30 days, you can use our referral link, and we'll also give you free access to our Nail Your Digital Offer workshop to help you get clarity on your offer and show you how to set it up in Kajabi. And we'll also give you our Kajabi templates for a homepage, an opt-in page, and an opt-in thank you page that you can start growing your email list and get your website set up fast. If you'd like to access these free offerings and a 30-day free trial to Kajabi, just go to kncreative.com/Kajabi. As always, it's been a pleasure. Go out there, take some imperfect action, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got some value out of this episode, I would love some support. And the best way to do that, so I can keep showering you with loads of actionable tips, is to hit that subscribe button. Leave a review or a comment if you're on YouTube, and share this podcast with a friend. And when you share it with a friend on social, please tag me so I can reshare your share in my stories. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out. I appreciate the heck out of you for showing up. And now it's time for you to take imperfect action so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more.